Well, hello there. Welcome to another live. Well, there's already one person on there. How did that happen so quickly? So it's Sunday morning, the 13th day of September, and I'm at Dana Point. This is actually the park that I think constitutes Dana Point for Dana Point, California. But actually, the community of Dana Point is down there. You can see over my shoulder. Let me switch the camera around. You can see better. There, that's a better view. That's Dana Point down there, probably my favorite city in Southern California. The reason I'm doing this is that I'm pointing this out is that somebody asked, they said, even though you're not in Japan, maybe share a little bit about California. This might be of interest to some people. So maybe it is. So before I start talking, hi Ron, how you doing over there in Israel? So that's the beach right there, and then Dana Point is over there. That's Pacific Coast Highway that goes right along there. I'm headed to this beautiful park. I'm just getting ready to start my day as a driving instructor. I love these pines. I think this is called Pines Park, actually. Ultra Kento. By the way, you can't quite see it, but just around the corner right over there is the Disney family's beach house. Doing good. I'm glad to hear it, Ron. Let me go ahead and start what I want to talk about. I've got just a little bit of time before I have to get to work. I hope the audio is coming through okay. So something happened. My wife told me a story yesterday that I wanted to share with you, because I thought whenever I hear stuff like this, I try to imagine in my mind what I could do in such a situation to improve the situation, or to at least what can I learn from it. So she told me about a thing that happened yesterday. She was at Walmart, and she was in the checkout line, and she was the second one back. And as the person just in front of her, the woman that was doing the checkout was a deaf and mute girl. I know the proper term I think is deaf and dumb, but that can be taken the wrong way. So a deaf and mute girl was the checkout. I've been to that Walmart and I've seen that girl work. She does a fine job. She tends to kind of like she talks, but it comes out, the garbled kind of I don't want to offend anybody, but you think you know what I mean. It's like when you can't hear yourself speaking. If you're trying to make sounds, they don't come out very audible. She's very good. She's been working there for years. She's checked me out before. No problems at all. But yesterday there was a problem. The problem was that, I'll move around a little bit as I talk. The problem was that as something happened with the cash register as they were working, and the Yumiko was second in line back. So what was happening was affecting the man just in front of her. So he was standing there. He had all of his stuff and halfway checked out, and something happened to the cash register. And the deaf and mute girl was trying to communicate to him that she was having an issue, and he was patient for a little bit. They kind of got it corrected and started over again, had to start the thing over again, and the malfunction happened again. Now he started to lose his self-control a little bit at that point. So at that point they decided to move over to a little, the connection is bad, Ron? Is it coming through slowly? Are you getting bad bandwidth? Is it the audio, or is it the video, or both? I'll give you guys a nice view while I ask this question. How's that now? Is it better over here? Fine on my end? Oh, okay, Ultra Kento, thank you for letting me know. So it's Ron, it may be the proverbial, it's you, not me. Well, that's opposite, right? It's me, not you. So anyway, so picture this. So now the situation has, they're moving. Oh, it's good. It's better over there. So I'll go ahead and move. I'm mobile. I do have to keep an eye on the clock. I have to go pick up my student. I'm going to move over here off of the edge here. So they moved over to the next checkout counter. The whole line had to move over. Now, then the man was getting a little impatient. Understandably, right? But apparently he wasn't holding it in. He wasn't holding it in very well. He wasn't containing himself very nicely. And that really began to show. Oh, hey, a better view over here. Oh, I think I see a big school of fish out there. Let's put my coffee and stuff down. Let's go take a look. I think I see a big old... I wonder if you guys can see. Yeah, there's definitely a big school of fish at the surface out there. Okay, right there. A whole, wow. A whole shoal of fish. Or maybe that's a rock just under the surface of the water. That could be it. Anyway, this is Pacific Coast Highway. And you can see the bike lanes down there, right? People on the bike lane. And nice houses along here. The guy that started the Hobie Cats, he's got his house down there just a little further. And then the Disney house is a little farther forward. It's a very nice beach. So anyway, let me go ahead and finish up my story. This is nice over here. Hope the reception's better here, Ron. Oh, that's a nice view. So anyway, so the guy was starting to lose it, right? He was at that point. And Yumiko said that he started to lose it in spades, really getting upset. Actually began to yell at the girl. Now it's, you know, it's not nice to yell at anybody. Why does it seem more egregious if you're yelling at someone with a disability? I don't know. I'm sure the person with a disability wouldn't want to be considered more vulnerable just because of that fact, but never mind, that's not the point. The point is he lost his cookies, right? So I was trying to think, and he made a big scene, and Yumiko said it didn't go well, and being Japanese, you know, where Japanese are notorious for being able to hold their cookies through difficult situations, it was a tricky one. So I'm sure that she was, I know Yumiko was, you know, rather unsettled by the whole event, as I'm sure was everybody in line, everybody in that part of the store, and certainly the girl that was the subject of all of this wrath, who was just trying to do her best. So anyway, so I was trying to think for myself, what lesson could I learn for that? Because, you know, I get put into similar situations myself. You know, not exactly the same, but what could I learn from this? And there were a couple of things coming from, you know, the good life, the objectives and principles that I've developed for myself. And the first one was the first principle that I was thinking that came to mind was the principle called the Feast of Offal. The Feast of Offal is where we've kind of had enough, and we decide that we're going to take our upset and spew it out onto the world, share it, let the whole world know how upset we are. You know, to hell with everybody, screw you all, and I want everybody to know about it, right? And the funny thing is, the reason it's a feast is that people tend to gobble that stuff up. It's the same thing that we do when we consume gossip, right? We go, oh, somebody else's misery, you know, let me just consume it up a little bit. But in a way, it's like eating poison in a way, because it tends to contaminate us. Or if it upsets us, like somebody, you know, cutting us off in traffic, it upsets us. It causes anger and frustration to build up in us that then blows out. Oh, there's a train. That's called the Surfliner, I think, something like that. It goes all the way up the coast. So anyways, the first one, the Feast of Offal. So it would have been an opportunity for that man to have avoided the feast. You know, for example, if as someone that follows the good life principles, I would have tried to recognize as soon as the cash register started going south, as soon as the situation started getting bad and I couldn't understand what the girl was saying to me, I would have said, oh, okay, here's a chance. I could feel the upwelling of anger and frustration. Here's a chance. Maybe I can quell this and stem the feast. No 4 honks. No, that's right, Ron. Although they will do the 4 honks elsewhere. If it's usually for Amtrak in Burlington Northern, Santa Fe will do the 4 honks. I've heard them. So that was the first one. The next one was the principle of what I call true limits and true. This is an objective, actually. The objective of recognizing true limits and true opportunities. And the true limit there was that, you know, maybe you have your limit for how much you can take. Try to recognize that and try to get ahead of that to avoid the Feast of Offal. And the true opportunity, of course, is the opportunity to not lose our cookies, to not get upset in spite of that. And if I'm standing there and I see the cash register starting to go bad, I can't understand what the girl is saying. They start things up and I have to ask myself, okay, what more can possibly come? What opportunity is this for me to exercise another principle, which would be the principle of temperance? Temperance, of course, being able to control our consumption of anything, whether it's food or drink or work or play or whatever, or the indulgence of emotions or whatever feelings we might have and expression of emotions. So far we've been able to recognize the use of the Feast of Offal, the recognition of true limits and true opportunity, temperance, And I'm going to say another one. I'm going to add one more, and that would be the pirate ride is a principle that I developed to, it's my way of expressing my conviction that we have no free will. That though we can make any choice we want, we can never make any choice other than the choice that we did. And winding up in that line, at that register, at that moment, with that girl, with everything about to go south, was something that simply, there's no other, at that point there's no other way it could have gone, right? I can't have wished myself anywhere else. And I can't have, there's nothing I can really do other than to exercise patience. Oh yeah, recognizing the limits, right? Recognizing that I don't have any control over the cash registers. I can't control this situation other than to control my own emotional reactions to the circumstances that are happening. So there we go. I thought I'd make this video to share how Yumiko shared with me a story. Let me give you guys a beautiful view. How Yumiko shared with me a story, and how I tried to take that story and make it into a lesson for myself to prepare myself better for the things that do happen in life. And with that, let me just see any comments, and I need to get out of here and get to work. Let's see what comments people said. Okay, good. Mino says, just the people at the right time and the right moment to make the unfortunate event that happened. Yes, indeed. The book 7 Habits goes into great detail about this, in which almost all situations in life need to be viewed in multiple perspectives, basically aiming for a paradigm shift. Isn't that Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits? Nice stuff. And Michael Brooks says, I think that's a really good way of thinking if only other people thought the same way. Yes, Stephen Covey. That's where I have a project management methodology that I developed that I call Quadrant 2 project management. And I lifted that Q2 from Stephen Covey's book, the 4 quadrants of things that we can control. No, the 4 quadrants of importance, important and urgent. You know how those 4 quadrants? Anyway, I digress. And there's a hello from Malaysia. Hey man, Ultrasco. Yes, okay. Everybody, I'm going to drop off. I need to get to work. So I wish you all the best. Have a great day and a good life. And if you're curious about more of that, you can always ask for a copy of my book, Going Alone. All of the principles and objectives that I talked about just now, plus a lot more, are packed in that book. Take care, everybody. Make it a good life and be safe, but not too safe. Take care.